All right, so today we are going to learn how to use the calculator to solve systems of equations with matrices. The first step is going to be to take our systems of equations and write it in matrix form. So if you look at look at page 17, number 1, what we're going to do is write a matrix of the coefficients. So we're going to have a 2 by 2 matrix with the coefficients on the x and y. Then we're going to do a matrix for the variables, but that has to be a 2 by 1 because for our dimensions for multiplication, I need this number of columns to match this number of rows. And then we're going to have the answers. And now, if I think about multiplication for matrices, and I go row by column, I've got 2x plus negative 3y. That equals the top equation. Then if I go this row by the column, I've got negative 1x and 1y, which makes the bottom equation. Let's do the same thing for number 2. Now we've got 3 variables. I see x, y, z. So my coefficients are going to be a 3 by 3. My variables are a 3 by 1. And my answers are also a 3 by 1. Now, what I've noticed in the first equation, I have all 3 variables, x, y, z. So I have the x coefficient, the y coefficient, the z coefficient. But now in the middle equation, I have the x coefficient. I do not have a y, so that's a 0. And then we have the z. Now in the bottom equation, I have an x coefficient, a y coefficient, but no z. So those missing variables have a 0 coefficient, and we need a 0 in the matrix to account for that. Now we can use our calculator to solve these matrix equations. In our last unit, we actually found the inverse of a 2 by 2, but we never did a 3 by 3. So now for this unit, instead of solving by hand, we're going to be able to solve completely with the calculator. And we'll do that on the next page. So let's start on page 19 in the top right corner, write down the 4 steps for how we are going to solve these equations. Pause the video here to do that. Okay, so step 1 for problem 1, write the matrix equation. So I've got my coefficients, got my variables, and my answers. And if I think about these matrices with names, this is A, this is X, we're going to find it's going to equal B. So to solve, in my calculator, we're getting to that step next, I'm going to have A inverse times B to get our, so that's step 3, our answer. Because it's going to give me X, Y equals, it's going to give me a matrix answer. So here comes the calculator part. Everybody turn on their calculator. There's a matrix menu over here above the inverse button. See how mine is blue? So I'm going to do second x to the negative 1, and I get this matrix menu. I'm going to edit because I need to type in the first matrix. So I'm going to edit matrix A. That's going to be our 2 by 2. So I change the dimensions to 2, enter, 2, enter. And now I'm going to type the entries. 1, enter, negative 1, enter. So by pushing the enter button, it gets me to the next entry location and locks in that last number. So check, make sure your matrix, all the numbers are exactly the same as our matrix A on our paper. Then I'm going to go back into the matrix menu. So second matrix again. and I'm going to edit. But this time I want to edit matrix B. So I'm going to go to number 2. This matrix is a 2 by 1. And I put my 15 and the 60. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the main calculate screen. So we have to press second mode and it quits to get me back to where I do the arithmetic. And now that I'm back on the calculation screen, we're going to go back to the matrix menu. So second matrix. And now I stay on names because I want to copy matrix A to my calculation screen. But I don't want just matrix A. I need A inverse. So I'm going to use the x to the -1 button to get that inverse notation. We're going to multiply that by matrix B. So second matrix again. And now on the names menu, I go down to number 2. Press enter. And there's our answer for -11. And so what that means is these two lines have an intersection at the point for -11. It's a one solution systems of equations. All right, let's try that with number 2. Write your matrix equation. Go to your calculator. All right, so we're going to start fresh. So I'm going to go second matrix, go into the edit, and we're going to edit matrix A. It's still a 2 by 2, so now I'm just going to type over what was here before. Stop and look. Are your numbers, do they match? Yep, I'm good. Go back to the matrix menu, go back to edit. Now I'm going to edit matrix B. Type over what was there before. Go back to your main calculate screen. So that's going to be second mode to quit. And I go back to matrix. I want A. Then I need inverse. Second matrix. Then I need B. Oh, this time I didn't put the times symbol, and that's okay. It'll work if you don't put the multiplication. So solving, we're going to get error. Uh-oh. Okay. So you might think you did something wrong, but what this could mean is either there's no solution because they're parallel lines or infinite solutions and they're the same line. So the calculator won't help me now. That's a bummer. So let's see if I was going to do this with the substitution or elimination, I would multiply the top equation by -2 and look what happens to the x and the y coefficients. Right, so I copied my other equation. So now I'm noticing when I add these together, I'm going to get 0 equals -200-ish. That's not true. So this means there's no solution to this systems of equations. They're parallel lines. So unfortunately, if the matrix in the calculator gives you this error, you have to revert back to our algebra to see really what if it's a no solution or an infinite solution situation. Okay, let's try. I ran out of space on number 3, so let's try number 4. Write your matrix equation. It's a lot of 1s and 9s. Wonder what's going to happen here. Okay. Now we start fresh, clear. Second matrix. Oh, wrong button. Second matrix. Edit. 2x2. One. Second matrix. Edit. B. 1. 9. Okay, I'm going to show you another shortcut now that we've done a few. The last thing I typed was A inverse B. And now that I've updated what's in A and what's in B, if I do second enter, that's not what I said. Second enter, it brings back up what I just typed. And since I changed what's in A and I changed what's in B, this calculation is going to calculate the correct matrix operation for me. So I don't have to go into the matrix menu and do it fresh every time. So now I hit enter, another error. I kind of had a hunch that was going to happen with all the 1s and 9s. Okay. If I take the top equation and multiply everything by -9, and I notice with the bottom equation, if I add these together, I get 0 equals 0. That's true. This is an infinite solution situation. So these are the same line. They overlap. Okay, let's try 5 and 6. You set up your matrix equation. Let's go to the calculator. Matrix, edit. Back to matrix, edit. Now B. Second mode gets me back to the main calculation screen. And if I do second enter, I get back my A inverse B. If you don't like that, you can go back into matrix. On names, we get A, inverse button, back into matrix, stay on names, B, and we get the point -26. Since we're solving a systems of equations, your answer can't be a matrix. Your answer is going to be the point -26. That's the point the two lines intersect. All right, you try 6. And I get the point -48. Okay, if you feel like you need to do a few more problems with me, I'm going to finish 7, 8, and 9. If you feel like you're good, you got solid calculator buttons down, you're ready to go, your homework is page 20. The first set, don't solve. Just write the systems of equations. The second set, you're actually going to write, you're going to write the system as a matrix, but don't solve it. The bottom half, you're going to write it as a matrix and then solve with the calculator. Okay, so if you're good, you're starting the homework. If you're not good, we're going to do the last 3 together. Number 7, we got 1, -8, -7, -4, x Y. Answers. In the calculator, this is matrix A, this is matrix B. All right, the buttons again. Second matrix is over here next to the sign button. Arrow to the edit spot, and matrix A, I have to type in the numbers, press enter in between each entry, especially that last one to lock in the last number. Go back into matrix, edit, and now we're going to edit matrix B. So number 2, 79, enter, 107, enter. From here, we have to go back to the main calculation screen. So I do second mode, and it gets me back to where I do arithmetic. Go back into matrix, stay on names this time, matrix A, but I need the inverse. So I click the inverse notation button. Then go second matrix, stay on names. I need B. Now it's going to multiply, and we get the coordinate -9, -11. So these two lines intersect at the point -9, -11. Okay, here we go for 8. Matrix A, matrix B. Second matrix. Edit. And I gotta edit matrix B. Second enter brings me back what I just typed. I want to use A inverse B every time. And I get the point -1, -11. Last but certainly not least, write out your matrix equation. Go to the calculator. Oop. Oh no. An error again. Oh man. Okay. I see. Okay. Look at this. See how the coefficients are -3, -3, 4, 4? If I multiply the top equation by 4 and the bottom equation by 3, I'm going to get -12x and +12x and -12y and +12y. So that side's going to add to 0. Let's see what 30, negative. Okay, -33 times 4. And then let's do 32 times 3. Okay, see how they're different numbers? So they're going to add to a number that's not 0. So this is a not true situation. So this problem is no solution. Okay, so now we are on to homework. First set, don't solve it, just write the system as a matrix. Bottom set, actually solve it in the calculator. Check your answers in Drive.